power like BITCHUTE. What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Check it. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You are feeling sleepy. Under deep hypnosis, I'm the composer, master of the opus. Mind on cruise control, lost all focus. Puppet masters love pulling strings, herding the sheeple by selling dreams. You have to be asleep to live the American theme. They create the problem, then deliver the solution. Profit of both ends, all we fought for the illusion. The government are all one, but promote to divide. Walk right into the trap cause most people are blind. They can't see the plan has conquered the mind. While we sit here and argue, we can't get back time. History stays relevant, destroying our future. Self-destruction has become part of the culture, while the rich feed off the dead like vultures. No more hibernation, awoke to sleep the giant. Put a ripple through the system, awakening the vibrant. I'm the alkaline of water, Poseidon with the trident. Bitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, the dark chameleon.
Peace in the
Listen,
God.
check it, yo. It was a cold April morning under the constellation Aries. The moon was 85% under the luminaries. From the celestial waters to the womb my soul was carried. Then my mother gave birth to a warrior and visionary.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, the dark chameleon.
Peace in the
Listen,
God.
check it, yo. It was a cold April morning under the constellation Aries. The moon was 85% under the luminaries. From the celestial waters to the womb my soul was carried. Then my mother gave birth to a warrior and visionary. But when I speak this truth, I feel like nobody hears me. Every once in a while, I give sight to someone blind, floating on the globe in the heliocentric lie. Dilate your pupils the more you open your eyes. The truth is sitting in plain sight like a disguise. Until my mother's death is revenge, I won't be satisfied. It haunts me when I think about the phone call when she died. A river worth of tears shed from my eyes. So I looked up at the sky and I asked God why. It's been 21 years, I'm still waiting for a reply. Since birth I've been at war, the attack our undeveloped minds. Indoctrination camps making us dumb, deaf and blind. I'm always thinking solutions, we are running out of time. The dirty witchcraft is weak, I see through all the lies. I clearly analyze all the symbols and the signs. When I connect dots, the truth starts to align. The people are the power, you can never eclipse my shine. I say the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. They say hell burns and there's a one-way ticket for me. You create your heaven or hell whether or not you believe. I'm God and Satan, I have to balance out my chi. One day these seeds I plant will bloom so you can be all you can be. Never give up and always hold your head high, cause you are God, there's no need to look to the sky. Having technical difficulties here. Peace and salute, everybody. Whoever's in here. Shit. I forgot to put what's that thing called in the title? The Hadron Collider too. Anything that has to do with energy or the light spectrum. These parabolic mirrors, though. I used to watch this channel called I forgot the name of it, but the guy, used to say they had parabolic mirrors. That some of the stars aren't real, he was saying, and they have like these satellites, right, or satelloons or whatever. Which, yeah, there might be satelloons, but I just don't think there's. I almost said the word believe. I don't think there's any satellites up there that float by themselves. Peace be. But as far as parabolic mirrors, we're going to get into that real quick because they're very interesting. Parabolic mirrors. I know the guy's channel. Knew the name, but I Phil watched the same channel I did. Take off that picture. Oh man, take the picture. Come on, man. I clicked that off, and yeah, it comes back on. There we go. All right. So they're calling a parabolic reflectors here. Wikipedia. A parabolic mirror or dish is a reflective surface used to collect or project energy such as light, sound, or radio waves. Is part of a circular paraboloid. That is, the surface generated by a parabola revolving around its axis. Sort of, when it says that, it kind of reminds me of Polaris and what if the whole entire firmament was a parabolic dish? All right. Traveling along the axis into a spherical wave converging toward the focus. Conversely, a spherical wave generated by place in the focus is reflected into a plane wave propagating as a collimated beam along the axis. Parabolic reflectors are used to collect energy, from a distant source. For example, sound waves or incoming starlight. That's interesting because I think they could generate energy from the stars and reversible. Parabolic reflectors can also be used to collimate radiation from an isotropic source into a parallel beam. That'd be sort of like direct energy weapons, maybe, right? In optics, parabolic mirrors are used to gather light in reflecting telescopes and solar furnaces and project a beam of light in flashlights, searchlights, stage spotlights, and car headlights. In radio, parabolic antennas are used to radiate a narrow beam of radio waves for point-to-point communications in satellite dishes and microwave relay stations, and to locate aircraft, ships, and vehicles and radar. In acoustics, parabolic microphones are used to record faraway bird calls, and then it says in sports reporting, and to eavesdrop on private conversations in espionage and law enforcement. I'm not going to read all this. I just think our mirrors are just like these. You see these everywhere. These let me make sure you guys can see this first before I go any further. Okay. Not many people have been coming through to the live, which whatever. Still gonna do me regardless. It's odd. Usually my live streams will break over 250. Now, maybe it's because they heard me say I don't want to get monetized, and now they're fucking with me again. Or that's just the way it is. Anyway, I see these dishes everywhere. And all these waves that are fucking bumping around. Okay. What the hell is this? Do 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 do. I want to use this logo right here. Spherical and parabolic mirror focal regions. Parabolic mirrors explained. Ba ba ba. What do they have for videos? Can they show any actual parabolic mirrors, like in in action? That's what I want to see. Maybe this guy's channel will show up. He has a parabolic mirror, like this guy in his channel, and you know, he allegedly says that you can, when you look at it, you can see the firmament and all this stuff. I don't see his channel, but I think the girl that his name was shit. I know the girl's name was Bex or Bex, BEC or BEX. But I forgot his name. Like I said, if Phil was here, let's see what this guy's got to do. Hopefully y'all can see this. Let me see. Where's the control? I don't know what's going on here.
Hello there, I'm your host, Dan Rojas. And we're going to be converting one of these, a DirecTV satellite dish, into a parabolic reflector today. Now,
slow your roll, guy. Okay? Getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Just a little ahead of ourselves. Forgot the guy's name, but he said it in the beginning. We're going to rewind it. I think his name is Billy Bob Thornton. Hold on, Billy Bob.
the nice thing about these is that they're pretty much everywhere. People basically just throw them away when they cancel their subscription or
use it for something, like all the electronics I got in my living room.
Hello there, I'm your host, Dan Rojas, and we're going to be converting one of these
Just appeared out of nowhere.
Parabolic reflector today. Now, the nice thing about these is that they're pretty much everywhere. People basically just throw them away when they cancel their subscription or try to recycle them the best that they can. A lot of questions that I get asked about this is why not just sand it down to...
Why not just appear out of thin air like he did, right? The parabolic mirror reflected them into existence.
The bare metal and use that as the reflective surface. So what I've done is I've taken one and I've sanded it down to the bare metal. I used 200 grit paper for the finish on this, and you can see that it's got a kind of a shiny surface. This is about equivalent to what aluminum foil would give you. Now, the problem with this is in order to get this down to a usable mirror, you'd need a cotton buffer on a bench grinder, and you'd need the proper paste to get this down to be a really smooth surface. This is very smooth.
Parabolic. Green Power Science. And this was in 2009, this video came out.
But to get it to be a mirror, it takes a lot of work and a lot of expertise to get the mirror just right. So what we're going to be doing is lining this with the film that we call Part B film. This right here, the way that it is, it produces a focal point that you can actually put your hand in front of. It gets warm, but it's really not going to do much. And if you got this to more of a mirrored surface, you'd be able to definitely do something with it. But we're going to go inside and I'm going to show you how to line this with the strips, the process that we use. What I have here is a 2-foot piece by 3-foot piece of the Part B mirror. And this is the mirror that you need tape to actually pull it apart because it's very thin and the edges are pretty tight. Now, one thing you want to do before you start this is to thoroughly clean this. After you get it sanded, take some rubbing alcohol and get it very clean because the surface really has to be clean for this stuff to hold. It'll hold pretty good, but to make sure that it lasts a lifetime or whatever, you want to make sure that this is as smooth as possible. These dishes come with a surface that nothing really sticks to. So you don't have to go down to the bare metal, but it's a good idea to go down to where it's very smooth. What you want to do, if you don't go down to the bare metal and you just leave the gray surface on there that's nice and smooth, you want to take gloss black paint and put a couple coats on it so that it's got a nice gloss black finish. It acts as a great backer to this. You can use silver.
You might as well use gold plate. Isn't gold the best conductor? Well,
I'm using that because this is a dark silver, but the lighter you go with the background, the actual lighter you're going to end up with, and you're going to end up less of a mirror. So gloss black, if you don't go all the way down, go directly on this if you do go all the way down. I like to do the strips with this because it's a lot easier to put on. You can try and cut pies, but they're going to overlap because it's not a perfect pie like you'd think. So I like to do 2-inch strips for the simple reason that most straight. If you saw the other video, the process is the same. You take wider strips, you get folds and all kinds of crinkles.
My bad, everyone. I'm trying to make it, you know. People want to make it later on. Power Science on YouTube. I just want to skip past this, you know. I really don't like playing other people's stuff. And what's this going to look like? Here we go. Boop, 3D, boop.
What you're going to do is flip it over. And as carefully as possible, you're going to take your knife. You're going to press down really hard. You want to push really hard when you do this. Make sure your blade is nice and sharp because it'll just rip the stuff off. You want to just gradually cut around the outside. Now, if you start to find that you're pulling it, you need to snap your blade off and go for a new blade. You get that cut a little bit, get it started. Just take your knife, go right to the edge, just hold it at an angle, and slowly cut it off. You're going to notice it gives you a really nice finish. So you just take your excess. Try not to peel up what you've already got. Clear any excess away. As I get down in there is usually dirt or dust. It happens really easily. Bubbles you can pop with a knife. It's pretty easy to do. This stuff cleans really well. You don't want to use a harsh cleaner on it. Just some really light cleanser. These holes right here, what you want to do is go ahead and put the bolts in because you're probably going to want to mount it. And that way it doesn't lift up. You can see that this is quite a different transformation from what we had before. The mirror quality is much better on this. And it's a pretty good parabolic mirror. This is a fun project. I've got information on where you can get this material on our website, greenpowerscience.com. I'm your host, Dan Rojas. Thank you for watching and enjoy our videos.
Dan Hawes. I like to say, smoking. Who used to say that? Homeboy from Fire Marshal Bill, y'all. Is my voice choppy now? Peace, Dan Sandals, Flat Earth Nation. How's my voice now? It's cause I was speaking as I moved. If I'm not moving the mouse, how's my voice? All right. Thank you, Flat Earth Nation. I really enjoy your videos, Flat Earth Nation. I don't get to see the stars and the moon. What do you think about parabolic dishes, considering you have the equipment to look at the stars and moon? I can't think of the guy's channel I used to watch. He had a I don't know if he called it a parabolic dish, but it was shaped like half of a basketball, and it was a mirror. And he said in the daytime, I don't know, like he was selling these things too, and allows you to. He says there's the sun's on a track system. Now, shit, I've even thought of that myself. Like, you know, my wild mind and how it drifts. I used to think the Titans were used to build the firmament dome or whatever's up there. And all these stars and shit are just lights attached to a big whatever giant parabolic dish facing downward. But I don't know what it is. But parabolic dishes, the guy used to say that they have parabolic mirrors up there. And the stars they're not all real anymore, he was saying. His name is Boogie. That's right. Boogie and Bex. I forgot the name of the channel, though. I used to watch. I think he changed the name, too. His name was Boogie. Yup. And this girl was like Asian, I think, or Mexican, or one of the two. I think she was Asian. Not that that matters, but if anyone else seen his videos. It's interesting. Parabolic mirrors in space. Let's see what we get for that. What if I put good old NASA in there too? See what happens. And let's go to all. optics, but of course, good old Hubble's mirrors, right? Hubble telescope. My fault. I want to save that because I really want to compare it to something. This is exactly what I seen on that alleged spy balloon. That's about a few months ago this summer, I think. And it reminded me of the space station. Damn. But being on a balloon floating or Satelloon, maybe the Satelloon, right, had a mini version of this so-called space station. And that's how they get their footage of this fake space station. It's floating on a fucking Satelloon with cameras, and they stage it like it's a big fucking, who knows? But it looked just like. And maybe the Satelloon ran out of whatever they use to make it float, helium, because they're the number one consumer of helium, NASA, or shall I say the agency with that never has. Like, think about this thing right here. How does it float, right? You know, with all these asteroids and stuff flying around in space, how does these mirrors protect itself against, right? Wouldn't the mirrors break? And there'd be such a danger of all this stuff hitting it. People got to start using their brain. That love NASA so much. Really think outside their box of garbage. This is the Hubble telescope's mirror-based optical system collects and focuses light from the universe to be analyzed by science and guidance instruments. The optical system called the Optical Telescope Assembly gives Hubble a unique view of the universe by gathering infrared, visible, and ultraviolet light. Really? Now, you mean to fucking tell me this thing's still operating up there? When did that fucking thing get put up there, Hubble? I could have sworn when I was young they were talking about this thing in the 90s. Oopsie poopsie. Let's see. It looks a dome, but I think it could be flat. I thought about that too. Flat Earth Nation. Maybe it's like, I don't know. I just feel like the plane we live on we could be in Saturn's cube. that's the fucked up part, you know? We have to really just use the information at hand. And that sucks that we don't know the facts of where we are or even who we are, right? It kind of disconnects the individual from I speak through experience that I got to question, you know, because we're not told the truth, like where we are and who we are and how we got here. It's all a mystery, like a Scooby Doo mystery. Scooby Dooby Doo. They were trying to tell us something. The Scooby Doo cartoons, man. Always pull a mask off of the ghost or whatever they were chasing. But it was always a guy with a mask on. And it would always be like a police chief, and other stuff, which, you know, what people say is just a cartoon, but I think it's the same with presidents and politicians. Some of them have masks on. Not to get off topic, but 3D full of pixels. Yeah, I've also thought the firmament could have been like a LED screen. I thought of so many different things. One guy I seen a video of, he zoomed in on a light that was flashing. It was high up on the tower. Piece Mesa melt. And when he zoomed into the tower that had the light, I shit you not, it looked just like a star. It was pulsating and everything. And it made me think right then and there, what are these stars for real? Anyway. Holograms, that's a good guess. Trying to think what else I should go into. I'm not going to stay on this fucking telescope. That's for sure. Shit, what is that thing called? I can't think of the name now. Oh, yeah. I spelled it wrong again. I want to see a map of. Oh, yeah, since we're here. Hold on. Come on, man. Load up. Oh, snap. Holy schnizzle pop. It's a baby Hadron Collider. Where did it go? I want that little thing. Okay. Is this going to show me? Trying to see if this map will show all the Hadron Colliders around the realm. But it's not. Oh, here we go. Wow. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me there's 166 distribution of all CERN users by location of institute observers, Japan, Russia, US. I'm going to download this. To be honest, I haven't even really dug into what the Hadron Collider is at all. Yeah, I agree with that. They're definitely not flaming balls of grass. Really, and they said they never completed it. Interesting, very interesting. When they say that, you got to worry a little bit. So they got large Hadron Colliders now, and so the LHC is the world's largest and highest energy particle collider. It was built by the European Organization of Nuclear Research. Don't let me forget to see if I can find a map of all the nuclear I can't even think this morning, man. The nuclear plants all around the world, because I was talking about that yesterday. Ever since I seen the video, I don't know if it was Feed Your Mind or 6 years ago, these nuclear power plants being where it snows, most of them. I think there's like one in Japan That's where it's warm, and all of them are like Russia, uh, northern China, and you know, obviously we got tons here. Like they rather have nuclear power than get free fucking energy, which is infinite. They rather use poisonous nuclear stuff because they're selfish and idiots. Anyway, CERN. Should we be concerned with CERN? Right? Is it CERN or concern? Which one is it? Oh, CERN. I'm a little concerned. Okay. Where did I leave off? I had to write something down. Between 1998, so I was 17 when they started these, I think, and 2008, in collaboration with over 10,000 and hundreds of universities and laboratories across more than 100 countries, or the Council of Tree. It lies in a tunnel of 27 kilometers, which is 17 miles, in circumference, and as deep as 175 meters, which is 574 feet, beneath the France and Switzerland border near Geneva, the Geneva Convention. The first collisions were achieved in 2010 at an energy of 3.5 tera electron volts. Interesting. That's a new word. The tera electron volt per beam, about 4 times the previous world record. The discovery of Higgs boson was announced in 2012. Between 2013 and 2015, blah 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 blah. The collider has 4 crossing points where the accelerated particles collide. What dummy would want to bang around atoms in? If this atomic bomb is caused by splitting atoms, you know, banging them together can't be good either. So they say that's what they're doing. What if they bang each other's heads together? Would it have the same outcome as banging atoms together? I don't know. Wow. During the operations of these large hadron colliders, the CERN site draws roughly 200 megawatts of electrical power from the French electric grid, which for comparison is about 1/3 the energy consumption of the city of Geneva. The Large Hadron Collider accelerator and detectors draw about 120 megawatts thereof. Is it megawatts or milliwatts? Doesn't say. Each day of its operation generates 140 terabytes of data. The proton synchrotron booster. The stuff they What's up, B? B.
That's good, Charles.
Not much. what do you know about these hadron colliders?
I don't know much about the specifics, but I know the basics. They speed up particles and they crash them into each other and measure what happens.
Like I said it a few seconds ago, I said I want to get the same outcome. Damn, do I wanna go on Google Maps? Large Hadron Collider. Yeah, fuck it. Let's see what we can see.
Some of the things that I don't understand that I've heard of is there's particles or some type of matter that was released that didn't exist before or something, and people say that like there was demons unleashed into the world or something. I don't know the specifics on that one.
Yeah, people have been saying they're opening portals and stuff, but why hasn't this been all over the internet? You know, everyone and their mother got a phone or something that they can record with, and this portal they opened with demons coming through. Nobody's seen that fucking thing, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, it could be just particles that we've never measured before, and the scientists are confused. And whenever we discover something that we don't really understand, we kind of tend to call it magic or God.
Shit. Map of all the what are the things?
But from what those particle accelerators look like, it looks like a multi-stage acceleration. Like it loops, and then it goes into another loop, which compounds the acceleration, and then it loops again and compounds the acceleration, and it speeds it up really fast. I think that part is cool. But other than that, all of the physics and advanced engineering, I have no clue how it works.
Hold on. Hold on, give me 1 second, B.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. We got all day.
Hold on, I'm coming. All right, my bad, Al. I wanted to grab coffee. Use the bathroom right quick. Why does it keep going to fucking? Yeah, I don't want that. It keeps sending me to Google Earth. I got the maps. What the fuck? Okay. All right. I got the map right here supposedly. The map of all the nuclear plants in the world. Come on, Reddit, load up. What's going on here? Okay. Okay. Is it gonna load or what? Just gonna take sweet F time. Cheerio, mate. So that's the map. Peace, Dominic, Anna K. Sorry, I had to step away for 1 second. I got good on hold music. My music. Music with a positive message 98% of the time. You know, I try to stay positive in my rhymes, but try not to reflect that negative energy through the microphone. Because it's all witchcraft at the end of the day. So, now, let's see this map here. This is what I put a map of the power plants all around the world, and as people can see, look how many are in North America, man, and Europe, right? There's none in Africa. There's one, South Africa, right? South America got 3 for that whole big, which is good. South America actually preserves their land for the most part, except for the American government burning down the jungle over there. Asia has a cold, but it's all where it's cold. If you look at the equator, except for West Asia. Look at Australia, none. Huh. None in Hawaii, which is good. Just Europe and North America are saturated with them, and it's up where it's cold. So yeah, I would say 90% of them are where it's cold. Interesting. What the hell's wrong with these people? Oh, wait a minute. Let's go to Wayno. Oh, nice. Now we're fucking talking, dude. Let's go over here to Connecticut. There we go. Now we're fucking talking. Can y'all see this? Let me make sure. Nope, of course not. Why should you be able to see it? Why? There we go.
It looks a lot nicer with that background picture in there.
Let me see. A little bit. I think it looks dope when I'm not sharing the screen like this, and then people are up. The background looks really good. See, I live right here in this area, Hartford and New Britain, Connecticut, right in the central. Let's see how far I could zoom in. Myrtle Street, Burridge Street, Walnut Hill Park. That's where we want to go. There's Hart Street. So Lincoln Street should be right here. There it is. So this is Lincoln Street. That's Black Rock Ave right here. Here's West Main, and there's my house should be. You can see my house right there. My house right here is my apartment building. It could benefit. The bus stops right in front of my apartment building, and then, well, nobody wants that garbage KFC trash. I can't put this guy in.
Your voice is borging pretty bad when you move the mouse around.
Yeah, it does that. And it says that, oh, when you pay for StreamYard, it gets so much better. Yeah, right. It's the same. Nothing got better. That's the crock of shit.
And I was watching this guy's video on paying for premium services. You got to check some of the settings, because if you have a VPN or if you have some of these privacy settings, the premium service will lower the quality that they allow you to use when you pay. And on the free service, it doesn't throttle.
There's my building. This fucking carriage right here is always there, man. How old these buildings? I think it's a little odd how this building is up off the ground. Like, why is this building, unless the building is surrounded? That's more or less what I'm thinking, because none of the other places on the street are up. So they must have put dirt around, or the mud flood. Nah, I think they filled it up with dirt. Who's this? There's somebody outside over here. Anyway, let's go back up. Hi. Out of here. I'm gonna look back up. Hi. Anyway, I was just fucking around. Sounds like I'm gurgling underwater. That's funny. All right. My bad. I had to exit out of my laptop, and I do so because I'm only trying like to use an hour worth, I guess. That's what I'm thinking, Anna K. Like, I forgot how many Hadron Colliders they said. So not only do we gotta worry about these hadron colliders, right? You gotta worry about fucking nuclear power plants everywhere. I'm more worried about nuclear power plants than a stupid nuclear bomb, if those even exist.
Yeah, that Fukushima plant, isn't it still leaking radioactive material into the ocean?
I don't know. We could find out though.
Yeah, we had to limit seafood.
Find out. I'm gonna look right now. What is it? The Fukushima?
Fukushima in Japan.
All right. Let's look. Oops. Do. Fukushima. Of course it ain't gonna work. I don't know how to spell that. Fuk. K. It's probably. Oh, here we go. Fukushima. Do. All right, the Fukushima power plant, nuclear power plant. Let's see. Let's see when this thing went kaboom boom. It says Japan. The plant suffered major damage from a 9.1 earthquake and tsunami. See, I'm starting to think these tsunamis. You know, I personally don't believe in their uh, drifting pieces of land and plates sliding into each other underground. I don't believe none of that shit. But what I do know is they got weapons that create earthquakes. And if they have this weapon offshore or miles out in the ocean and they trigger that fucking thing, it'll cause a tsunami for sure. Yeah, right. I remember that too, Anna Kay. That it took thousands of. And if you go and look where this alleged atomic bomb was dropped, they're flourishing. So
Yeah, if you set off an underwater bomb or blow a landslide to cause a landslide to go into the water, you could create a man-made tsunami.
My bad. My cat was crying. She's old and not doing too good.
You hook her up with the catnip?
Yeah, I bought her catnip treats, but I don't know what's wrong with her, man. She's like breathing heavy. She was fine. I think because I watched one of my ex-girl's cats go through this, and the people we had taken her, this was years ago, my ex-girl, whatever, her cat, we took it to the place and they put it to sleep because she had cancer. And she was explaining that if you don't buy the $15 bag of cat food, all the food besides that is all garbage. It's all got chemical fillers and all this stuff. And it makes me wonder, because it looks like my cat Chloe has the same. And I don't have $200 and something to bring her to a vet. So I don't know what to do. And I feel bad she's suffering. It fucks me up to see her like that. She's obviously uncomfortable. She'll cry and lay down. She wants me to pet her.
Damn, that's fucked up. Is there any like
Yeah.
natural remedy, like painkiller type deals, like a herbal option, or maybe like essential oils?
I'm gonna smoke some weed and blow it in her face. I did it the
There
other
you go.
day. She'll eat weed too. I used to give her a little piece of a bud. I mean, I seen the symptoms coming on, you know, for the last 2 months. But I was talking to a friend of taking her to the vet, and she's like, well, you can give her to me because this person I know works for this place. I'm like, I don't want to give her away. You know, if I'm going to bring her to the vet, I want to figure out a way. Maybe they can work a payment plan out, or I know it's going to be expensive as hell, man. And then they're just going to say, she's sick and we need to put her to sleep. Which, if it means she won't be in pain, fine. I knew this day was coming. It sucked.
Yeah, that's always a hard judgment call.
Shit like this that pisses me off.
Yeah, like you said with the food, most of the food on the shelf is trash, and if you actually want to feed the people or the things you're responsible for, if you want to feed it good food, it's going to cost a significant amount more.
Yeah. I buy Friskies because she loves it. And there's been a few times I near the end of the month, I had ran out of money and I had to buy the cheaper stuff. And she'll look at me like, what is this trash? And I feel the same way. She wouldn't eat it. She would sniff it and then look up at me like, you gotta be kidding me. I don't even want to pick her up. I was gonna pick her up, put her on my bed, but I'm afraid if I pick her up, it's gonna hurt her. She was doing good too all day yesterday. She seemed to feel better, and now it's starting again. Her breathing's heavy. I hope her lungs ain't filling up with water. I don't want her to be in pain. This world's filled with nothing but suffering, man. As much as you try to look for heaven, it's just nothing but suffering. fucking place.
Oh, that's the school of Earth. You chip away what wasn't meant to be there. Maybe you take too much, and then you got to live with it. But yeah, we find out who we are here.
Yeah.
But you just gotta make them as comfortable and as happy as can be for the time they're here, and then make that ending as quick and painless as possible. If you know somebody who works at a vet or an animal hospital, a lot of the times they can get the shot that puts animals to sleep for cost, and you don't have to pay the $99 or whatever it costs to put them to sleep. If you do it privately, if they're a good friend, I've heard of that option as well. But me, I got too many animals. A lot of the times it just comes down to a hatchet or a .38 revolver.
If I could do that, I would.
Yeah, in the city, it's a little bit different. They might look at you weird if you start putting down animals yourself in the city.
Yeah. The ex-girl I was talking about the cat a second ago, they put her to sleep and then gave the body back to her, the cat. She said they usually don't do that, but I remember driving home and she's holding the dead cat and petting it. I used to think she was crazy, but now I know how she feels. And then she puts the fucking thing in the freezer. I forgot why. I couldn't bury it right away. I think it was either pouring rain or it was snowing. I don't remember. She put it in a bag and put it in the freezer, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know? I'm like, you lost your mind.
Funny thing, I had an ex-girlfriend whose parents had a pet in the freezer when I first met them. So I hear you. The grieving process is it's a strange thing. Necessary, but strange.
Because she was just fine the other day, which is odd to me. And then I go for my exercise and come back, and she's in the condition she is now, and it makes me think. You know, I'm thinking all these thoughts. Did my roommate try to pick her up and drop her? You know, why is she breathing like this? You know, did my roommate kick her? You know, what the fuck is going on? It don't make sense how she was fine, and then I come back and she's in this condition. But I don't know. Maybe it finally caught up to her. I don't know, but it just fucked me up going to pet her and try to feed her. She don't want to eat too much. She'll eat like a couple of treats and then lay back down.
Yeah, so a lot of the times with animals, you won't see it, and then all of a sudden it'll hit. There'll be something under the surface going on. It'll snowball real quick, and then once you see outward symptoms, my rabbits,
Too late.
My rabbits, if you see them sick and you don't do anything, the next day they'll be dead. Baby goats as well. As soon as you see a sick baby goat, usually the time you come back with the remedy, they're dead. But water, you could also try different types of if you have tuning forks or like Tibetan singing bowls, or you could just play some frequencies and just sit with the cat on your lap. That might ease the pain a little bit. But a lot of the times they're going to be dehydrated because they don't feel that well. They're not going to be able to eat because of pain, so there's going to be a nutrition deficit. And then it just, you know, everything, once one thing goes, everything starts falling apart and sliding downhill,
Trying to
especially at
think,
older
what
ages.
could I give her in the water that will keep her minerals up and stuff?
Right. I don't know if they have pet electrolytes.
Because she eats. She even gets up to use the bathroom, and which is a good sign. And
Yeah.
I thought she ate something poisonous because the way she was the other night, you know, they sprayed for the bugs, unfortunately, in this building. And I told the guy I got animals, and he's like, "Oh, I made sure I cleaned up good, but you never know, man. My cat could have gotten a corner where, and then licked her paw, boom." But I don't know. It almost seemed she drank a lot of water and threw up, and I was happy because if she did eat something, at least she drank that water and she threw it all up, and I was happy, like I said, because I want whatever's in her to come out. She's not bleeding
She threw
internally.
up after they sprayed?
No, they haven't sprayed again in a long time. But I you know, she was in the bathroom and she started laying in the bathroom alone. I don't know why, but she probably ate something she wasn't supposed to. I catch her chewing on plastic bags and shit, you know, like, and the lady that said that's a illness cat's get or something where they chew on plastic, she said she took a cat and the cat was had, excuse me, eating a blunt wrap and was chewing plastic.
Did she know what was the specific problem?
Yeah. I don't know. I might just call this lady, and I don't want to give my cat up, but I don't want to see her in pain. I just feel bad that I got to make that decision to kill her. No, I don't feel like I'm in any position to make that decision. Like, but I don't want her to be in pain. So I got to live with either me saying kill her or leaving her alive and being in pain. So I can't win in this situation. That's why I hate these situations where I got to pick which way I want to lose.
Yeah, that's some hardcore shit right there. You basically try and walk the line as fine as you can, give them as much life as they can, and then when you can tell that it's rock bottom, that's when you drop the axe. Oh, people are mad on the road today. Ha! Should have left 15 minutes ahead of time. You wouldn't be in such a rush.
It could be many things too, Anna Kay. It could be the water. She drinks tap water. And I thought of that too, man. Like, I don't know.
You said she's old?
Yeah. She's got gray hairs and everything in her face. We had her for about 6 years. So she's old. And when we got her, she had a stomach that would flop left and right when she ran because they were overfeeding her maybe, and she had babies. And when she came, she wouldn't leave my lap. And we became like best friends. Whenever I leave and come back, she would wait for me at the door.
Wow.
Life sucks.
Yeah, give and take. Give and take. But the other thing is I don't put an animal down unless it's in pain or it was sick and contagious. And then so butchering an animal, I don't consider that putting it down because I'm going to eat it. But yeah, I try and wait. I try and wait until the animal, should be put down. I don't just I don't make it easy on myself and take time from the animal. Yeah, that was this year. Still 2023. Yeah, this year I had a baby goat that wasn't all the way developed, and she couldn't really walk that good, and she couldn't latch on to nurse. And yeah, she was fading really fast, but not fast enough to go on her own. And unfortunately, I had to give her the best life possible for the time that she had, and had to put her down. It was kind of sad, but luckily her mom made it, and it was okay, and her mom could live another day, have another baby this year.
I'm here. I'm listening. I'm just checking my PayPal played me. I was looking to see if there was. I hate when they do that. They will show you. It's all late too. Like when people donate, they'll send you. It'll tell you like a month later. They didn't play me. They just always send it late, and it makes it look like you have a donation, but it's just a whatever you call that, showing like a receipt or whatever. Another cloudy day. Another shitty cloudy day.
Yeah, I got some rain yesterday. I didn't have to water anything.
Well, you live on a farm?
No, I live in the city, but I have a big garden at the house. I wish my properties I could call a farm, because then I would dip out of here and I would live on a farm. But no, I have a big garden in my front yard and on my side yard. The front part of my house gets full sun all day. It's south facing. I'm able to put a lot of the fruiting plants and some of my fruiting trees out front.
Yeah, I hate that shit, NK. I thought someone donated $5 for it was you know who when he don't. That was like 2 weeks ago, and they tell me now, like, shouldn't you send that like when it happens? Like, but I've realized, like, even I've had in the past some Cash App. They're supposed to email you when someone, and sometimes they don't do it till after the fact. I got to find out by checking manually by going in there. It's supposed to notify you.
Do you know anything about canceled Cash App transactions?
What do you mean? Like if you send someone money and they cancel it,
Yeah.
you should be refunded.
Oh, so let me. No, I misspoke. They sent me money, and then after the fact, they canceled it.
When you never got it because they canceled it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But I've only made like 5 Cash App transactions in my whole life. I'm trying to start getting experience with this electronic money and accepting payments from people before CBDC goes into full effect, so I could be ahead of the game.
What's CBDC?
Central bank digital currency.
Oh, yeah.
Basically the slave money, programmable money.
And the sad part
I
is,
had a canceled transaction. I didn't know what that was.
oh, yeah, I usually make like $30 a month donations. Which is cool. I'm not complaining about it. It's better than making no money a month. I'll tell you that. Sometimes on a good month, I'll make like $50, but that hasn't happened in a few months. Dude, I have one person that donates every month, and I appreciate that person. I appreciate everyone. Just because people don't donate money don't mean I don't appreciate.
And that's just through the apps. That's not because you said you're not monetized, right?
No.
There's no like the ad check or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. All this electronic money and internet money, I'm behind. I was a dinosaur, and I thought cash was always going to be king, and hand-to-hand transactions and in-person relationships were going to basically dominate for all time. But this whole internet thing is apparently it's a must.
I found these pictures for parabolic mirrors. Huh. Is that dude naked? Like, what the fuck? Why would you put a picture of the other 2 guys are dressed, but that one guy's naked, yo? Like, what the fuck is going on? Look at that box. It's like standing up on its corner. There's 2 suns in the sky. Anna K said, what's up, Lonnie? You said, hey, Chuck, it's Lonnie. Yeah, it says your name. I've heard, Anna K said, I've heard of that happening with people trying to troll a person by sending a PayPal and canceling it before you get a chance to collect it. That's fucked up. I don't play with people like that. Because I wouldn't want no one to play games with me like that.
Well, good that I know, because it only happens once, and I mean, if the price of your your respect and your name is only $5, that's cheap for me. That's cheap for me to find
I
out
appreciate
bad business.
any amount people donate. I've had people donate $1. I've had people donate $2. You know, like everyone doesn't have
If you get the
a
money,
lot of
it's
money.
appreciated.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about if somebody lies about $5, if somebody steals $5 from you, that's a cheap loss to know who they are. I feel that that's a really good price to find out, like a bad friend or a bad business. Because a lot of people lose everything. Shoot, a spouse can take half of your whole life. $5, that's a good price to find out bad business. Or friends and family is even worse. That sell themselves short over something petty. But the older I get, the more my mindset is thank you for helping me out and wasting less time than you could have.
Yeah, it's almost worth the $5 being gone. You know, it was probably the best $5 ever spent or stolen.
Yeah.
Imagine this shit right here. This picture with all these men standing on the wall and just reflecting the sunlight.
Oh, nobody could approach you by sea if you had those things.
Huh.
In that era, wooden boats. Oh yeah. They had a similar like a mirror field in the Matthew McConaughey movie Sahara. There was just like a big ass field of mirrors, and they were all pointed at a collection tower, and the tower incinerated nuclear waste.
People should watch that movie Pulse. It's a good movie.
Who's in it?
I don't know. I'll put the cover of it. Maybe it'll say on it. Hold on. Pulse. It's right here. Boop. It came out in 2005. And it definitely, you know, we were speaking yesterday about portals and the cell phone. You know, it's like opening portals and scrying mirrors. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. This damn cat got me fucking worrying me. Fucked up my train of thought.
About Pulse.
Fucking about portals and I forgot what I was going to say. It'll come back to me. Portals, scrying mirrors. There's a reason why I brought it up.
You were talking about the movie Pulse.
Oh yeah, Pulse. The portals, like, you know how they say demonic or evil spirits could travel through these scrying mirrors, which is a phone, a tablet, a TV. In the movie Pulse, this guy sits at his computer, and this entity comes through it, and it basically drains the life out of you. And everyone who uses computers and stuff, they start, you know, getting depressed, and the dude hung himself. But yeah, I suggest you watch it. When you watch it, it'll line up to. It's just crazy, man. I think that's what these devices do. What's up, Dominic?
Hey, Charles. Hey, B.
But yeah, I definitely think technologies can tax a human being if you don't use them appropriately.
People say this world is an illusion. The pain I feel from watching people die, that's not an illusion. I don't know how people say that, but, you know, I think it was Bruce Lee said, life's an illusion or something. I forgot how he said it, but I used to try to, like, close my eyes and run through brick walls. I'm like, this place ain't no illusion. You damn sure can't run through a wall.
Yeah, there's different layers. Different layers on top of each other. A lot of the time the physical gets just bullies its way to the front of the line and takes up all of our attention.
So at that point, Charles, is the illusion, the play, in the action part, the physical, or is it in the emotional and mental planes?
Wait, ask that again?
The illusion / Maya play, is it actually in the karma part, the action part, the physical part, or is it in the emotions or mental planes?
I don't know.
Because how long does one stay happy in one lifespan? How long does one stay sad in one lifespan? And do we get attached to those things? I would like to think, anyway, I'm using my thinking capacity right now, that we do get attached to those things, let alone some people resist those things. But do they all not give an indication of some sort of play? And we all get handed scripts. Not to take away from what you were saying earlier about the physical, that's constant. But how do we perceive those things?
That's true. It all depends.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, how long do people hurt? I mean, considering I went through it already, I know what to expect. And then you kind of like learn to either not become numb or
Indifferent, numb. Those are usually a lot of positions that we go into.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But overcoming it, I think it depends on how I reflect on the situations.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when people don't actually practice anger, for example. So when they have to do the 5 stages of grieving, where they're going to be stuck when they have to actually go to the stage of anger or denial or bartering. People have to barter.
Like, people should like analyze and you know, when they're about to get mad, they should you know, analyze and ask, you know, is it worth me getting mad? I've been through this before, especially if someone's been through something. At least for me, I analyze and I say, well, this happened last time, so is it even worth my energy to get mad over this shit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna not be mad later, so I might as well get over it now.
Okay, so now at that note, then, a lot of times people will only analyze things more when it's favorable. Does a person analyze this before they get excited? This is still emotion, still energy and motion. Most of us actually ignore our attachments and then spend way too much energy on our resistance. Hence why people say they just want to be positive, but yet not be negative. It's a polarity that has to be experienced. And even that is it even a polarity?
The secret is I'm angry all the time.
Could be. Could even be miserable all the time. But yeah, for some people, they literally could be angry. But then again, there's the concept of expressing anger. So are we actually seeing the energy of anger, or are we only seeing it manifested in the acting realm?
I don't want to be angry or depressed, but as much as I try not to, it's just there's so much that goes on in life. You can't avoid it. It's gonna happen.
Okay, so now let's talk about the immune system at that point. Does the body actually favor the body being unhealthy so then it can build its immune system, or should the body always be in an optimum health? So how would it actually counteract something when they actually are in an unhealth situation? The immune system works with something that's more negative, the unknown, bacteria, parasites, and it gives your body a chance to have an immune system. And now if a person understands the physical, that's how the emotion and the mental plane should be. You should be able to have a little bit of a resistance. Think about people that work out in a gym. They need a little resistance to develop muscles. But most of us are born into comforts, and then we ignore that those things still need to be practiced. The word practice, the word act, isn't it, by the way, guys? Like fact.
Lonnie in the chat asked how you doing, B.
I'm driving around, getting to say I'm working. I'm doing excellent. That being said, always try your best and keep at it, because sooner or later it's going to bear fruit and you'll be rewarded. I've been doing this job, digging in the dirt for 5 years straight, just humping it away. And finally they put me in a position to where I could drive around. And I got an antenna on the top of the truck. I'm doing some wireless work today. And it's just as good as if I was digging in the dirt, lifting a bunch of cement boxes or turning wrenches. So if you keep at it in a positive direction, you'll have an easier work day someday.
Like sometimes when I'm depressed or I go through situations like this, I used to think, man, I just want to fucking die. Fuck this place. I'm tired of it. And then the voice in my head would say, stop being a bitch. Man up. I died twice, and I'm still scared to die. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't want to die. I don't know what's after here. As far as I know, there's nothing after here, because I didn't even know. You know, I was dead. I was still aware stuff was going on, but I didn't know I was dead, that's for sure. I always wondered, did people always fear death? Because if you look in Louisiana, they celebrate when people die. Excuse me. And peace, also Nyami, and faceplant.
Can you fear the unknown, or can you only fear the known? Most people fear suffering, pain, comforts. The unknown is death. Most people don't know that, so they've used a lot of energy on it. But what most people don't do is, are they fearing actually to live? Are they unaware? Hence the word fear for me. Unaware of living. Yeah, I get it when people talk
What's
about
living?
Well, that's the whole idea. What's inside?
What's living? Going to work every day, fucking
That's a form of
slaving
insanity.
to the clock. Yeah.
That's a form
Repeating
of
every day.
That's right. But that's a form of insanity at that point. But living, when you cut yourself, what's healing, inside or outside? Living is inside, not outside. That's an aging process. That's actually dead. Just because it moves, it's still dead. It's like looking at a tree. Is a tree alive inside, or is it the outside bark? Or is it underground? Or is it above it? Most people are unaware. So when people talk about near-death experience, I say, what did you see? I saw the light. I said, have you ever seen thoughts before? Well, no. So how would you not know you saw the same thing? See, we make up stories. And then in that story, we make up other stories. But we never question it from within. What story am I hearing? I've never experienced that. Just because I see my dad, who eventually won't no longer be there anymore, I can say the word he's passed on, opposed to he's dead. What's dead then? Is there some sort of essence that no longer exists within that vessel? It's a game that we play with ourselves, Charles, and I call it a mind fuck. Literally, it's the mind. Keeps us anchored here. Maybe to teach us something. Maybe we've done some sort of contract.
But that's that song by the Ghetto Boys. My mind is playing tricks on me.
That's right. Not the brain, it's the mind. That's another thing all by itself. It's like right now, when we're communicating with each other, was language existing before any of us actually jumped into these little meat suits? Yes, it did. So what is the mind? Is it more high tech than AI? It stores all information, all languages. You almost have to revolt everything that you've ever thought you've learned or felt, and then see it for what it is. It's nothing, no thing. But most of us get programmed, so we use our sense.
What's a language? A lexicon? Is a lexicon a language? Your
What's a
lexicon?
Give me a definition of lexicon. Sorry, Charles.
Let me look it up.
Is it something like an accomplishment?
Could be, yeah.
Because I don't know it offhand.
Yeah, I don't know the exact definition offhand.
Let me see. Lexicon. Boop. Definition of lexicon. No, it won't let me do it. The voicing. I have to type it.
But as far as crossing the threshold of death, I have this fear that I might not budget my time appropriately to fill the appropriate amount of life in that amount of time I have. And it's kind of a stressor because whatever happens after you die, shit, whoever's here surviving me, that's their problem. And then I would be in an environment to where I discover the new situation. So I'm not really worried about what happens when or if you go somewhere else. I'm more concerned about the appropriate scheduling and usage of like resources, basically.
It says right here, lexicon's a noun, the vocabulary of a person, language, or branch of knowledge. It says the size of the English lexicon, dictionary, especially of Greek, Hebrew, Syriac, or Arabic, Latin lexicon.
So a form of communication of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay, so then numbers, colors, braille, body language, consciousness, spoken language for the avatar. Those are all languages. So
It says, oh no, sorry, I thought you were done.
Go ahead, Charles.
It just says lexicon can refer to a general dictionary of a language, as in a lexicon of the Hebrew language, or using it as an example, and also to a narrower printed compilation of words within some sphere, as in a medical lexicon or a lexicon of the German in Finnegan's Wake, whatever that is. But yeah.
Okay, so you can use the English language and then have meanings to it. Those are two different, you could speak it and then you can have meanings to it. That's another language. It's like using numbers. That's one. And then you can read the energy of numbers. That's another language. So it's always consistent. You know, somebody can actually walk into a room and not hear somebody, but yet unconsciously or subconsciously, basically pick up body language. And they're reading something. Or people can read into patterns. Again, all languages. But a lot of us have been taught to narrow our focus to either or, opposed to realizing, but there's way more than just two choices in any situation. That's the whole idea of, you know, half full, half empty, or flat earth globalist kind of ideal. They give you a choice, two choices, so you have to pick one. Opposed to not making a choice and just observe them all and then realize there's even more. But that would be a person that's going to expand or challenge the mind. You know, it's like kind of like Jesus. You know, he had to fast long enough before Lucifer or Satan or the mind said, okay, you're a worthy opponent now. Outside of that, 20-day fast, fuck off. Want nothing to do with you. Come to me when you're actually truly challenging yourself. And again, what is the self? It's just a lower program. That's what we use to communicate with each other.
Yeah, Satan. Satan is the materialization of light. So that would be us. Lower in the realm.
Yeah. So who was Jesus actually talking to and from where? Probably from within. Hence kind of like the whole concept of when the student's ready, the teacher is ready. So that's the same thing when the student's ready, or the one that wants to be some kind of, I want an outcome, but then the adversary will show up.
That's a good way to look at it, Dominic. I never looked at it that way, where Jesus is the spirit and Satan is the flesh.
And the flesh is just mortal. It's just mortal. As much as we know, we'll spend a lifetime feeding it and sheltering it, but never becoming aware. But that's not who I am. So I'm taking care of something that doesn't belong to me, which is still, hey, if you want to be in this realm, you have to participate in the physical. If not, we're not going to be able to, unless you can communicate with unknowns. And I think this is where Wi-Fi and technology is going that we might be able to communicate with other realms, dimensions. And like anything else, once they present it to you, you'll be the frog in the water. You'll think nothing of it. We say the word Wi-Fi and not even think about what does that really mean, or cell phones.
Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi. Why the phi? I don't know. What is phi? That's what I want to know.
But what I'm saying is we're not going to really stop and think, okay, I see the devices, but where's the energy in between?
It's there.
It's like
Just
air.
Can't see it.
Yeah, how many people can truly say, okay, well, Dom, majority of us, we see its effects. We never actually see air. So we'll just say the word. It's like the energy of truth. Most people will say the word, and they might even put it in a verb. You'll see an action that you'll call it love. But is it really love? Just because a million people say the word does not mean it could easily be misled. That's why we have our own perceptions. But are they even our own perceptions? Because I'm sharing words right now. How do I now know that those are just experiences from wherever? Hence, kind of the concept of Kabbalah, receivers. What am I receiving them from where?
That's what I wonder. Like I've mentioned before, I used to ask my mother, what's the voice in our head? She couldn't even explain to me what it was. And even at a young age, I never called it my higher self. I would always say the voice in our head is God. When I was younger, that's what I used to say. until I realize you know, I think it's our higher self. But to me, it's almost like a beacon. That you know, the all-knowing God. That could be one way. You know, if how could this God be all-knowing of what everyone's doing? You know, would be your inner voice, but
Could
when
it
you
be
take the
Santa?
religion out of it,
Could it be Santa / Satan going around checking if everybody's good or bad, giving
right?
gifts, giving all kinds of gifts? Here, I'll give you this technology called Wi-Fi. I'll give you a thing called a car. I'll give you tractors. And meanwhile, people think, well, hell is going to be this bad place. It could be a whole bunch of gifts, and we get attached to it.
The
And
trickster.
yeah,
But we
and
definitely humanize these concepts as well. So,
yes,
like a Satan or a Santa Claus, if it was a tractor, we would look at it and treat it differently than if we told a story that the Santa Claus was a human. So, the Christ, the Satan, God, the Holy Spirit, all of these concepts, we kind of turn into people. We turn into humans, and we don't really give them their credit as to what or who, you know, if it's a who, but we don't really give credit to exactly what they are in an objective sense. We kind of fill in the blanks with our own limited understanding. But yeah,
hmm
the devil or a Satan, it doesn't have to be a bipedal hominid type character, but
hmm
we limit it to that.
oh, we do sacrifices, whether we know it or not. Parents will bring their kids to a guy wearing a red coat and a beard, red for the lower chakra, and then say, kids, I want you to sit on this total stranger's lap. Kind of creepy, and you might even be offering it to Baal. Here, I'm going to make a sacrifice here. Sit on this creepy guy's lap. Or another one, put your tooth underneath your pillow because the tooth fairy is going to give you money. Mom, are you trying to tell me somebody's going to break in the fucking house and put money under my bed? What the fuck are you trying to tell me here? And that's humans in general being asleep. They're not ever questioning that. They'll quickly defend and attack. Well, Tom, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, this has nothing to do with me. Think about the story I just shared with you. And how many people do it on a regular basis. They'll bitch and complain about religion state, but meanwhile, what is the one that people chase the most? Commerce. And what is commerce? Selling ideals is a form of commerce. So most of us, whether we're aware or not, are so deeply anchored here, but yet become disgruntled about it, but don't even understand why they're disgruntled. They just get caught up in their feelers, my likes and dislikes. I don't like the Illuminatis. How do you not know they're actually serving? Who gave us the technology to be able to know how to read the skies up in the sky, the signs in the skies to plant seeds, how to harvest our animals, how to graze them and all that kind of stuff. How to take a plant and smoke it, let alone absorb it on your skin or do ayahuasca. Who's giving all that technology to us? Our wardens? Or is it a contract realm opposed to a prison realm? We choose to come here and we sign contracts, whether it's a written form or other kinds of contracts. If people are seeking awareness, I'm not saying you guys are going either way, but when I hear the community, I hear a bunch of people outside of water, fish out of water, flipping back and forth, but never challenging the self.
Yeah, when I look around at the environment, and when I apply that concept of wanting to come here and picking this place, I think that knowing myself, I definitely would have wanted to come into a very chaotic time that allows a lot of opportunity for building things and creating things. Or what I think you said, forming things, right? I really like that concept, and I'm a builder, so I think this time is very interesting. It's very interesting times to live in, and I definitely think my higher self chose to come here for a reason.
Well, we have the concept of a soul. Soul never sells itself. It just actually works, and whatever it gains or whatever here, it stays here. So most things we forget are images, hence the image of God. And then there's another species, they form things. And that's where we get the concept of mortal. Think about the stuff that we create. First of all, most of it isn't even a chi, it's not even harmony with nature. So nature is everlasting. And it has a destructive and constructive to it. Unfortunately, a lot of people get caught up in their likes or dislikes. Well, I only want things to be constructive. Well, how does it exist when you have to tear something down? You need that back and forth process. It's like a sine wave. It has to have a positive and negative. Once a person starts hearing themselves and they become a gatekeeper to themselves, they'll realize, they'll say shit like, I have beliefs. So you're going to limit yourself with beliefs? What about knowledge? What about discernment, like wisdom or understanding? What about even going beyond those? Not to say that, again, are we prisoned here or are we signing contracts? Are we coming back to assist each other, mislead each other? Which it could be, but I think most of us mislead each other within. Sorry, guys, I went on. Sorry.
Yeah, the U.S. Constitution says contracts between private parties are the highest form of the highest agreement or the highest law. I haven't gotten that far into legal versus lawful, but like private contracts trump the Constitution even.
Well, the term "we the people," they're not talking about the citizens. They're talking about the nobles and prosperity. They're talking about bloodlines. So now that's blood over intent kind of ideal. So when people say, well, they're talking about us, no, they're not. They're not talking about what they classify as citizens. And even that, laws have nothing to do with human things. Laws are just about either land, air, water, space, and it monitors and governs nature. Nature is just wild and untamed, hence the term order out of chaos. The unknown manifests itself into the known. So now we have commerce policies. You go to court, there's a reason why we have things called like a judge or a lawyer. And more times than not, it's about commerce. So what are you going to give in exchange for whatever offense that we've created as wrong or right kind of ideal? Opposed to right.
Go
ahead.
Commerce courts are lower courts, right?
Yep. Well, they're just courts. But yeah, they could be classified as lower. Yes, B.
And also, is there any evidence that we are lower class than the professional players in this game, or do we have the ability to shift classifications?
Maybe many lifespans if people value the rebirth process, that you're like a Musk family, you've shown allegiance to their system, so they'll say, okay, so then you must raise your offsprings. This is where you have handlers. Handlers usually more times than not is your own family members, and they'll say, okay, you can move up. And of course, some people say that, okay, I just recently discovered with one of my buddies, it's not more about them paying tribute taxes. Most of these guys that are in clubs, they pay club membership fees. And they do things such as give donations to the Gate Foundation, for example. That's a club membership fee being paid.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them, whether the Illuminati, whether they're middle pyramid kind of ideal.
Right.
But people can work up. Obviously, you can. Like you live on a piece of land that you probably pay some sort of tribute. So that means
Mm-hmm.
you have a lord over you somewhere. Days they used to call them governors or whatever. So this is why when people start asking questions, do you own the land? When people say they're landlords, I said, do you have a lodial title, or are you a duke or a baron? No. So then you can't say, even though it's system word only, you can't say you're a landlord. You're in the housing business, and you might just be in the farming business. You start doing the trace, you realize, oh, my parents don't actually own the land. No, it's called tribute. Back in the days, you wouldn't have paid with money. You would have paid, okay, how many bushels of apples did you make? 1,000. Give us 800 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we got to pay for our military. We got to pay for our tax collectors. That's a constant system. So we have rulers here, not owners, but rulers. And whoever is playing this game, they understand that. That's why when people talk about Indian reserves, I said, okay, so follow the shell game and find out the concept of convincing the human race that you can own land is now they can actually give you the illusion they can take it away from you, opposed to just stewarding it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is where people play with the ideal of NAFTA, where you can do all that exchange and all that. It goes into a depth, you know. But most people are
Right.
just going to scratch the surface and say, "But I'm working the land." I said, "Okay, so when did animals become obedient to another species?"
Yeah, I'm all right with that. That's good for me because, in my opinion, you shouldn't start out an F1 race class with a Honda Civic. It'll never work out. And if I was turn into a rocket ship, well, then I'm going to invest that my grandchildren are born rocket ships. Because I heard Elon Musk's people had gemstone mines in Africa. And that's a good foundation to build off of. It's an unethical foundation, but it's a financially strong position to be born into.
Oh, my fault, Renegade. Let me look. I've been just slacking. Hold on.
Oh no, Dominic.
Oh, okay. Nice. Thank you, Renegade. I'll check them out as soon as I get off here. If you got time, come up for a second. This is Renegade 1 that I was talking about, that plays instruments and lives in Sweden. And he creates music. He's a DJ. He does it all. Gardener.
Nice.
One of the most humble people I've met on here. I never seen Renegade mad, ever. That's a dope name, Renegade. And then he's got the avatar. It looks like a samurai, or Renegade's got a studio. I'm gonna have to fly out to Sweden. Yeah, sorry about that, Renegade. I've been slacking, looking into stuff people have sent me. I'm got to finish up what Lonnie sent me, and then I got tons of stuff sent to me on Telegram. Oh, you are? You're making beats now? Shit, I wish I had a sampler, a beat machine, and a keyboard, and then have that hooked up to the computer. And man, I would have, you know, I have a sort of a studio on my phone, but
It's good for practice.
recording in the studio is so much easier now than back in the days. Like, with the press of a button, man, you could erase your verse and start over. Back in the day, you had to rewind. And if you fucked up in the studio, it cost you money. Now it's just with the click of a button.
Yeah, now you could get a rough draft going on your phone and then when you have the whole thing pretty much done, you could go to a professional studio with professional microphones and equipment and have somebody mix and master it. So you can, instead of paying $10,000 for a song, you maybe could get away with $500 for a professionally done song.
I tried to write yesterday, and going through the shit with my cat just put me in a fucked up mood. You know what happened to Dominic? He just jumped down.
Yeah, he said in the back chat that he had to get off.
Thanks for coming up, Dominic. You know you're always welcome. Probably end the live in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna wait for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'll end it. The good old 23. We got to do that interview, Renegade. More or less, not an interview, but I kind of want to do what I did with Candy. I had her come on and just, you know, I asked a few questions, but for the most part, I let her tell her story. Renegade in the house.
Yo, mic check. What's going on?
What's good? We hear you loud and clear.
Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm chilling, yeah. So, I'm taking it easy, This is my world, just chilling, taking it easy. Yeah. So, just want to say to you, Shaq, I got some beats I'm popping. Maybe it's not for you, but I'm popping into Telegram and sending some stuff. Make a beat today. Different tempos. So you talked about maybe you're gonna pop up and do an album or something. So it's peace overseas and the groove is in the air and let's do something new. Even though we are old school, but I mean we can do some new shit also.
I'll make it work, Renegade.
Yeah, I know.
I already sent the beat to Sir Drop. Hopefully he's writing to it. And then Frenchie Kush, I sent the beat. He sent me a beat and we agreed on it. So
cool.
And I already started my own. I got like a 2-minute thing going, and I was gonna start writing yesterday, but I just had no enthusiasm.
I know that vibe, But what type of beat per minute do you prefer? 90 or 120 or 60 or whatever? What's your favorite tempo? So I know what I'm sending to you.
I forgot what Wu-Tang Clan beats are.
Them pretty slow.
Like 80
yeah,
beats per second. 80 beats per second, I think it is.
Okay, yeah. So I made a few. I did pop it over to Telegram. So if you scroll back, you will find 2 beats. And maybe it's not for you. Maybe that could be something for somebody else. So just pass it on to somebody else. It's cool for me, So I'm gonna keep sending beats to you and some other guys. And if you like it, pop on it. Just take it. And if
you have a sampler?
I've been working with this for 35 years, So I'm full loaded of the top shit. Moog system, sampler, acoustic style. I got my bass. I got my guitar.
Damn.
You know it.
I wish
you
I
know
was
it.
there, man, so we could work
Yeah.
together on building a beat with samples and stuff. That would be
Yeah,
dope.
but the thing is, we can do it. If you get focused on doing it, we can have a private Zoom meeting or a StreamYard private Zoom meeting, and we can be jamming. I can do the beats, and then you pop over and you record your voice from the zero to where you want to like to put it, and then you just send the acapella to me, and I put it in and I mix it for you. Okay, is that a good deal?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean,
we should
even
set
though
it
if
up.
we are physically away, we could be more into do stuff like this. See what I mean? So I'm into make music now because I got a brilliant studio now. I got my equipment from the north. I got my bass over here. I got my mixer. I'm gonna buy an audio interface in a couple of days. So I'm gonna be tuned in. So the thing is, I'm bubbling beats every day. I've got like hundreds of them. Seen a beat a day. I've got plenty
Wow.
of beats. Yeah. So if I send you something and you don't resonate with it, just hold up for a few days and I'll send you another one. And maybe that one resonates with you. Because I only would like to collaborate with people if we resonate with one another. Yeah. That's the thing. So I'm into it now. Let's make music because you're a brilliant man on the lyrics. I love the things that you done with drop, but I can in the same time, that's your type of beat overseas. I got my European Southwest of Eden stylish, and I'm back in the days. I'm
But that's what I
original.
want.
Yeah, man. So
I want your Sweden. I want, you to put
Ren
that,
DMC.
work that into a beat,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it special. Is you're in another part of the realm, and to me,
And I
that's what
got
hip hop is, man. Is
yeah.
hip hop don't
And the
have a
thing,
color.
yeah, and I'm into this. I'm not into overproducing stuff, mixing and tricking that much. All I'm into is a simple beat, basic melody, blap blap blap, and then on it, and then release it. Next, next, next.
So you have vinyl records and stuff to sample
Oh,
from.
yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I got
Well,
original Technics 1200 back in the days. It's still mine. I have them for 30 years now, man.
whenever
I'm
you're
really,
free,
I'm from the vinyl type of thing,
let me
See?
know. We can set it up. Like
Yeah,
whenever you have free time.
yeah, but let's connect on Telegram. Read Telegram when I send you messages there, and then we hook up as we did before. We did it for 1 year ago. We could easily have a chat, give a bell, and we can speak. Bring in the guys that you would like to bring in, and let's collab, Sir Drop, whatever. Love it, boom. And if you got beats, if you got things, a lyric, send it over to me in a cappella, and I make a beat to it.
Trying to
So
get
let's.
London too. London
Yeah,
need to do a song
London.
with me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He's sharp, man. He's sharp. So that's the best thing that we can do, and just been arguing on the streets every day. I mean, it's good to have a good content, but you know what I mean. All about this Eon bullshit and stuff like that. I don't have time with that. I have time to make beats because time doesn't exist. And this is the thing. Now we have the opportunity I can send you a WAW file in 5 minutes and you got it. All you have to do is have a proper phone or your computer, and then you can just go on it, and then you send the acapella over and I mix it up for you, man. It's easiness. So
I'm down.
easy. Yeah. Put your time to be creative and create stuff. That's the thing. That's why I'm not been on the streets for a couple of months now, a half year or something, because I'm like, yeah, I'm listening sometime. Good guys, keeping it up. But what I've done the last couple of months is like I've been waiting for my stuff to arrive from north down to the place where I'm at now. And for a couple of weeks ago, I did get my bass, my homemade drums and stuff like that, and my microphones. And I'm going to buy an interface to my iPad so I can start recording and blah, blah, blah. Therefore, I've been away a bit from the streets a while, So It's more into this shit. But I'm not gonna let you go because I love you, Chuck. You're a wonderful man, you know. Doing great things. Same with London and all the rest on the chat here. Keep up the good work that you guys are doing. I have to drop out, but check out Telegram, Chuck. So catch up later on, you know. It's all
right.
good. Yeah, man, it's all good. So peace, everyone. Peace.
Peace, Renegade.
Yeah, man. Much love, man. Peace. Take care.
One
everyone.
love.
Yeah, all the way home. Peace, peace. Yo.
Nice. Getting everything rolling. Puts positive mind state that this album I'm gonna make, it's gonna come out fire.
I had to hop out and talk to a coworker real quick, but I heard he said 1 beat a day. That's inspirational as fuck.
Shit, you ever see people like I want to get one of them beats for my album. It's $600 though. It's Stu Banger's beat. He's done beats for Vinny Paz, Sean Price, all the good MCs. I watch him cook up a beat on his YouTube channel. Right there, 10 minutes, he'll cook up a beat. Fire too. He's got his son, baby Stu Bangers right now. I forgot his name, but his son, he taught him the craft, and his son is making boom bap beats with samples and vinyl. His son has to be at least 10 years old, maybe 9, 10, and he knows how to work the beat machine, the sampler, and that I think that's awesome. How you could see how the father is passing down the art, the craft, and the child just picked it right up, and it's just fucking awesome. And he's selling beats already. His son sells beats for like $200.
Nice.
Thinking of buying one. Because his son's beats are just as good as his pops. I can't imagine when Stu Banger's son gets older, he might be better than his father.
Yeah, that's that compounding value effect.
Yeah, and Stu makes good beats. That's probably why he calls himself Stu Banger, because he's like a stew, a pot of different instruments, and he makes those bangers. So that's why they probably got that Stu Bangers.
Yeah, that's cool, especially with him and his kid.
Peace, Smoking G Sharp.
Oh shit!
Oh,
you know
boy.
what? I guess I'm not doing that bad. I taught my son a little bit how to play the piano a little bit. I'm just focusing on my my personal or my memory centered around me. My grandmother was a music teacher, and we always sat at the piano together, and she would kind of put me on game a little bit. But shit, when I pull my head out of my ass, I realize I'm doing the same thing with my son, and I hope he thinks it's as cool as I thought it was receiving the music from somebody.
Life sucks. I don't know. I might have to take her to the vet and just take my savings and just spend it. These stupid vets are expensive. It's ridiculous. That's your background, smoking G-Sharp? I mean your backyard? The background I have. Man, look at them tree stumps in the background. I mean, imagine coming across the horizon and seeing these huge trees. I mean, this place used to be a heaven, you know? And I'm thinking evil people overthrew it, took control. Just like in the movies when they show, I forgot what movie it was, where the guy's name was Set or Seth, one of those two names in the movie, and he was the stepbrother of somebody in this movie, and he stabbed the god or king of this whole alleged realm in this movie and killed him, and evil took over.
And it could have been just a global catastrophe, because if anything happened and all of our scientists and all of our specialized labor died today, we'd go back to the Stone Age. Nobody would be able to run the power plants. Nobody would be able to keep the TVs working. Our third generation kids would fight over the technology like it was some religious relic. Somebody would end up breaking it, and then there'd be no evidence of our civilization in a couple hundred years if anything bad happened and shut the world down.
I don't know, Annika. I'm gonna have to figure something out fast. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, because the vet is going to charge you to do a bunch of tests. And then they might even try and sell you some antibiotics or a damn ibuprofen or some nonsense like that as well.
Yeah, kitty ibuprofen.
I had to pay,
know.
it was like $115 for an antibiotic, and said
Yeah,
the animal needed to be
I don't
put
have
down.
that type of money.
Right.
Just,
Right.
and this happened like out of left field. Imagine the animals in the wilderness that suffer, and they got nobody to help them. It's fucked up. It's the vicious part of life, I guess.
Well, they're part of a tight knit community, and then when it's time for them to die, they just find a little depression by the river, and they just go, and then they just die. I've seen a lot of old people from past generations. They go out that way as well. They'll call a bunch of their family, say goodbye, and then they'll just drift off. Or they'll say, okay, it's time for me to go now. Lights out. The people who struggle with that passing, that's when it looks uncomfortable.
There was a guy who recorded his pops in the hospital, and he had passed away. And you see a little orb of light come off near his body, and it floats away. And the guy was recording. The room was kind of like dark a little bit in the hospital, and you could see him take his last breath. And the guy didn't realize this till he got home and looked at the footage. And he was recording his pops, I guess. And then you know, he went back to look at the footage and he realized he caught his father taking his last breath. And then when you see him breathe in and out, you know, you could see him right in the video. He points out he passed away right there. And then you see that little orb of light go boop, and it floats up and away. That's crazy. Not
I
crazy,
definitely
but
believe in that.
makes me wonder, you know.
Watching
That's
a
how
sturgeon die one time, it kind of turned me off eating flesh because I realized that there is life and then death, and we're technically eating death when we eat meat. But I saw this fish out of water, and something like I woke up, like a part of me woke up, and I realized like, yo, this living thing is dying right now, right in front of me, and I'm basically just standing idly by, and then it was dead. And it kind of it changed me a little bit. And after that, the next deer I shot, same thing. The deer tried to struggle. We both knew that it was going to die, so I just kind of took a knee and kind of kept the deer company while it went. And I told it was okay. I told it I was there with it. But yeah, same thing. I saw and I felt when that thing was no longer in the vessel. It was a trip. But yeah, when you're put in the position of the reaper, that's a heavy crown to wear.
I wonder how women feel, the women that make the decision to kill their unborn child. How do they live with that shit?
That's a hot topic. Because are most of those decisions negatively influenced, or are they based on abundance and wisdom? Are we there for those women when they're making those decisions, or are they abandoned?
Or do they make the decision without, like what happened to me? The chick made a decision without even saying anything to me. She tells me after the fact.
Right.
Just flushed it down the toilet like it was fucking a doo-doo. That pissed me off.
Yeah, I'm always going to have an outside perspective on that situation because I have always known that I can never carry a child, so I can't really process it correctly. I've just told people that regardless of their choice, I'm supposed to support them because I was there when shit went down, so I can't bitch out and bail, when it's still happening. And then luckily for me, I do have the gift of children and fatherhood. So this choice to support that woman is basically it goes into extra innings rather than just a pregnancy or a delivery. Now I get to experience the life of that child. But as far as any pregnancy not coming to full term, those concepts, we need to be in a lot better place to address them, because in this environment, in this negative and lacking environment, most of the time the choices are bad and they have regrets tied to them after the fact.
Was For some reason, I keep thinking about this guy named Kenneth Copeland, and I downloaded some of his videos yesterday, and one of them was the Covenant, the Blood Covenant, and they were doing a mock blood ritual where they act like they cut their hand, and they both use like cranberry juice, and then I don't know if they really did it or they're doing a mock one, and they probably really do it for real behind the scenes, but the two guys act like they cut their palm and then squeeze blood into it. I'm gonna have to look at it again and see if they really did it. And then they drank it, and I'm thinking, what the fuck's wrong with these people, man? Like,
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
Kenneth Copeland's a fucking something ain't right with that dude. Like, I'm going to let me see if I can pull up these pictures I took. Just looking into the dude's eyes, you could tell he's either possessed or just evil, or all the above. He's yeah, good old Kenneth. Come on, Copeland. There we go. There he is. Here's the dirtbag. This guy. I mean, you almost look into his in his eyes. It's almost like he got a mask on, and there's something else behind them. Those eyes are like behind the mask. It looks like. And this picture right here. Oh, shit. Look at his left eye and his right eye, right? Don't it almost look like he's got a mask on and the eyes are like pushed into the head? It looks like that's what it looks like to me, man. And I took this screenshot too. Look pretty much alike. I'll show you. He might be playing that role of Kenneth Copeland. When I typed in Kenneth Copeland, these two came up. Now picture what's the guy's name? He played in forgot what movies, but picture him putting a mask on, kind of like Kenneth Copeland. I'm not saying it's true, but this dude, he's like two different shades of color too. The video clippings I got of him, man, making like these sounds like they were talking about blood in a cup, man. He made this sound like a lizard. Like he was getting worked up over just thinking about blood. Like he was like making these sounds and shit. And yeah. I'm gonna make a compilation album of Kenneth Copeland, and then some of the looks he makes on his face and his evil eyes. He just looks evil, man. That look, that smile, man, is just. Who the fuck? Look at his face, man. Whoever smiles and has overlapping cheeks like that, like only a mask would do that. My opinion, I could be wrong, but it's just something about his dome piece and his head that just doesn't seem. Just some eyes. To me, it's like he's got a fucking mask on. My opinion. These are some dope pictures. Why they gotta put men in underwear? Like, I'm gonna save the world in my tidy whities. This guy got a pitchfork and green scaled underwear, yo. That's fucking insane. Don't worry, I'll save the day. Let me put on my scaly underwear. This guy over here has got scale, a skin tight scale suit. What's wrong with these people? In this picture, you can see all the lines in the sky. Like that day, I remember this day. It's the beginning of the summer. The sky looked like cotton, literally. Peace, Christos. Scott Severini. Peace to the whole chat. But yeah, let me jump off of here. I'll leave this video up, even though it wasn't too much. But I got a few things I gotta do, and I got some thinking to do. What am I gonna do with my beautiful cat? Lonnie, Scott Severini, Dean, Anna K, Be What It Is, Christos, Kimba, Smoking and G Sharp, Renegade One. Did I say Faceplant? Oh yeah, Can a Dummy. Can a Dummy? What can a dummy do? Forgetting anyone? Probably not. Olsen Yemi. I said Kimba. Dominic. That's who I forgot. Peace to everybody. And peace to Be What It Is. Thanks for coming up. But yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna end this at 3 hours on the dot. We got about 10 minutes left. If anyone wants to come up, got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And counting. I'm gonna call and see how much it costs to bring my cat there, and then I'm gonna see how much I have, and then I might have to do a fundraiser. One of those. I think PayPal has a fundraiser thing. I don't know. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to take my kitty cat. I was hoping she would get better, but I'll show. No, I don't want to put her on here, but I'll show a video of how she's breathing. She seems to be in discomfort. And if people are animal lovers like me, it hurts to see her in pain. And you can't do nothing about it. I don't know what's wrong. Anyway. Peace, Joe King. Is it Joe King or Joe King? Are you joking, Joe King? I'm about to try to make something to eat. Yeah, try to be a good man. I think it has to do with the food. I'll never forget what that lady had said from that animal place about the cheap food and what it does to the cats. It gives them stomach cancer and stuff. That's what she said, the lady at the vet. My bad. Ow. Peace, Mark Basket. Yeah, they did poison everything. What does everyone got planned for their day? Oh yeah, I gotta go to the. Damn it. Shit. Oh. Production foods are basically a filler for the gut. It hasn't the goodness they want us to believe, but it costs energy and people only see money value these days, all part of the script. I agree. Fuck this place. Oh shit. People want to see good footage of the moon and stars. Check out Flat Earth Nation's channel. Yeah, it's really good footage. Oh shit. It's 3 hours on the dot. Alright, everyone. Have a good day. Peace to everyone. And maybe I'll go live later, but I don't know. I gotta figure things out. Everyone have a good day, night, morning, wherever you are. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.